now I'm thinking about it, it was still they were still partaking within the same war as us, but I don't. That's as much as I can think about. Like it was
Okay.
because they were getting different instructions, but it was still part of the same big plan that we were all a part of.
Okay. So you got the sense that they were on your side?
Yeah, they were,
They had
they
a
were
role to
still
play.
fighting the same war as us on our
Okay.
side, but
Fair
in a
enough.
different way.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten to that understanding without me throwing out an idea that was wrong. So that's fantastic. I'm happy to be wrong if it gets us where we're going. Um, one thing this suggests to me, that feeling you had of unfairness, it might relate to the idea that you're all in the same war. You're even on the same side, and other people, it feels like their efforts are rewarded better. You talked about your life being a series of unfortunate events, and I think the idea that these two dude bros get the special honor of special instructions and being called up to the front suggests, to me anyway, a not a resentment exactly, but an observation that other people have not had as many struggles as you have, haven't been confronted with as many dead ends, and that it's almost as if the powers that be, the roll of the dice, honored them despite their efforts, despite them not being any better than you or different than you. Luck of the draw. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. That was my first impression, and we can explore it more, but we don't have to dwell on it. Either way, whatever you choose. But I think there's something significant in there about your worldview of looking at other people and saying, I wish I had it that easy. I wish, or maybe again, resentment's the wrong word because I don't get that from you at all. But the idea that you see people celebrating their success when it's like random chance. It's like you didn't actually do that. Maybe we're both fighting as hard as we can and they're competent as well, but they got lucky, and that feels unfair.
Yeah, it's like as I explained before, it was like I had the sense of understanding why it were that they were being called up there, and I, regardless, I had to respect that because it was out of my control. It's out of my decision. Clearly, this person who's up there knows what they're doing. So I, as much as I would, like to speak up, it's just like I still have that feeling of I don't need to speak up. It's not my right. It's not my say.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think that goes back to your other personality traits of just you reference in this place keeping your head down, like a bowed, respectful stance towards the situation and the person at the front of the room, and saying not your place to say is that you don't tend to complain about other people being honored or getting better results or getting special treatment. Although it hurts, you still have that thing like, why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't I get a break once in a while? And that's a reasonable. Does that resonate?
Yeah, like like it's the initial thought process. It's like because some people will hold that initial thought process like that's bullshit. Regardless, I should be the one up there. But me, it's just like I'll think that at first. It's like what the fuck, I mean, I'm trying just as hard here. Why aren't I getting treated that way? But I'm keeping that thought to myself, and I just kind of think through it, and I'm just like, okay, well, there's this, there's that, there may be this reason, that reason. I shouldn't have I just keep my mouth shut for right now, let things play out, and let bygones be bygones kind of deal, like let it be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's in a very broad and general sense, that is the absolute healthiest way. That's why I kept saying it's not resentment. Resentment would be holding on to that thought and saying, screw those guys. They don't deserve it, and now I'm angry about it, and I'm not going to forget, and I'm going to have a bad day, or I'm going to take it out on someone else. You have a very healthy understanding that shit happens. Shit happened to me. It happens to everybody. I don't know exactly their circumstances. There's things I don't know. There's circumstances beyond my control. There's, a lot of religion in general is to answer the question, number one, what the hell is going on here? How do we get here? But why do good or bad things happen to good people? And a lot of the answers in religion is about making sense of that idea. So where was I going with that? Your answer in this dream for why did those people or other people in general reflecting on your life get better outcomes than you is that there are forces beyond your control and this desire to believe that there's a plan, that everything is happening the way it's supposed to, the way it has to, that the things that were bad that happened to you had meaning, purpose. They weren't just random. You weren't just shit on by an uncaring universe. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There was more to it in my head related to the guys, but we might have dwelled on that long enough. I think it is very important, though, that you weren't ignored. You weren't glossed over. You weren't what am I trying to say? The source of information, the person who knew what was going on, the person who had been or entity or whatever imbued with power to have an effect in the world, didn't leave you out. He turned to you and said, now it's your turn and I'm going to give you this information. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And the way he chose to do that was in a very reassuring manner that everything is as it's supposed to be. What you did was not wasted. What you've been through was did not lack importance. Your actions had meaning. And more than that, that even death was not the end of your mission or your ability to keep contributing, to keep trying, to keep seeking for success. Does that resonate?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful desire to see almost kind of a quasi-religious figure bring you behind the curtain and say, don't worry about it, you're doing fine, keep your chin up. Not only that, I'm gonna make it so you can still have a positive impact. You can still, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm stuck on that idea. Even death is not the end. It just feels like I want to and play the outro music. Dun, dun, dun.